Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for coming. My name is Beatriz. I'll be your host today. And I've been with Meta actually since the beginning of the North American operation. So it's very, very good to see how we have been growing the past few years and now being able to share and to bring in some of our extraordinary professionals to share their experiences, how it's been to work for a company outside of their, home country. I'm very excited to share and to listen to their experiences here with you today. So the idea is to have a conversation. So we might or we might not have enough time to do a question and answers at the end. So let's see how the conversation is going to be very interactive. Is going to be so. I'm not sure if all of you know about Meta IT, and we've been around for 34 years. We have over 300 customers across 8 different countries. We have 3,000 employees. We have been selected a great place to work for the past 6 consecutive years. So it's definitely, I know that, I'm suspect to say, but it's definitely a great place to work. You're going to listen to this amazing people experiences, and I'm sure you're going to be convinced by the end of the day as well to be part of our team. We're going to post eventually here some of the positions that we have open so we can access and hopefully enroll to our opportunities. Okay. So let's get ready. Let me introduce you some of our guests today. I have my sheet here. We have Rafael Lawiski. Hopefully I pronounce his name correctly. He is our senior developer from Brazil. We also got Mayra Rosas. She is a data and BI product owner from Argentina. We've got Osmary Guevara. She is a BI engineer from Colombia. And also Renata Karamaski, who is our current head of talent acquisition here at Meta IT. So welcome, guys. Thank you very much, you guys, for being here today. And let's get this started.
Thank you for the introduction, Bia. Hi, everyone. It's amazing to be here with you all today. As Bia shared, we prepared an amazing lineup for you guys today with some questions answered by some of our consultants here about their career path in tech. So let's start our roundtable. So, Rafael, what inspired you to pursue a career in tech, and how did you take the first steps into the international market?
So first of all, hi, everyone. And I've always loved everything tech since I was a young kid. I joined a local robotics team, and there I thought, oh, I could definitely have that every day for a living. So I started learning programming there, and it took me a while to look at the international market. I had a few positions nationally, and I was feeling held by my previous position and the technologies that were used. And I also had to become a provider in my family. So I thought, why not work for abroad? And so I updated my resume. I applied to many companies that I found that matched my skills and also my expectations. And I learned a lot in the process. And now I'm at Meta.
And thinking about your interview process, since you brought us up, how these strategies helped you get into the international interview processes?
So before interviewing, I think the what made the most difference was the resume. I updated it and I used the STAR methodology. For those of you who don't know, it's when you have a situation and you do you have a task, you do an action, and you have the results for it. So we could highlight not only your experiences as professional experiences or educational, but also what have you done that distinguish you from other people. So this landed me many interviewing processes, and on the interview, it's also people are very direct, and they're also candid. Usually, they know people don't know everything because where I live here in Brazil, it's expected that we know everything for almost every position. And the experience I had with international positions is that it's okay to say, oh, I don't know something. People will try to explain a little bit, and then you can build on top of that. And that's why also I learned a lot in the process, not only because of interviewing, but also technically speaking, I learned with the interviewers, and that was a great experience.
And if I just comment something here, you mentioned the STAR methodology for working on your resumes. I would say this is one of the main differences between Latin America's resumes and North American ones. Normally, people don't pay close attention to describe actually what were mainly their achievements within their experiences. And this plays a completely big role when applying to opportunities here in North America. So please, guys, focused on this always.
I also want to add, hello everybody, good morning. Also want to add that what really helped me was to create a portfolio, because when I started to interview with companies from North America, they 1 or 2 times asked me if I had proof or an example of what I did. And normally I would just talk and explain what I did, but it's always helpful to have something prepared, an example. Obviously, we're not gonna present something that we built actually in the job, but something that could relate or could help. I think this really helps because they see, okay, we're capable, and also when we present it, we explain, and they know that we understand and we are capable of doing what we are actually saying we do.
Yeah, and what about you, Rosemary? How was for you this career path?
Hello, everyone. Compliment a little bit on Maria's intervention. Yeah, have a portfolio and present your skills. It could be helpful in recruiting processes. It is most important also take in mind it's the way that we communicate or project ourselves, communicate the impacts of our operational activity, and I think it's really helpful, especially in this kind of IT companies, because most of them are concerned of the ability that we have to solve complex problems, and the way that we can project and explain in detail how we can solve it, or take a look at of my portfolio, my skills. I worked in a similar project, could be really helpful as a part of a recruiting process.
Great. And Mayra, you said that you built a portfolio, right? So what other key unique skills do you believe are super important for a tech international career?
Other things that I believe are very important are giving like real information on how you help, besides the portfolio, giving real information on how you contribute to the project where you were involved. For example, I created this project analyzing this area in my job, and I helped the team save this amount of money, and they were able to, reduce the amount of employees that they need, or I help providing real answers or providing how you help them change. I believe that these are very important.
Yeah, this is very interesting, Mara, because as Rafael said, normally the interviews here are much more straight to the point. We don't normally waste too much time talking about, personal situations or personal life. So having knowing how to directly express your achievements, specifically quantifying your achievements, is really, really crucial. Right. So instead of just saying, oh, I did this or that, if you have, the numbers that you can actually quantify and share, definitely is going to play a positive impact.
And one more thing I like to add is, I think you are selling yourself and letting the recruiter know that you really understand and like what you're doing. You're not just like one more robot that you're doing, or limiting yourself to doing, okay, this calculation or this page, but you actually know and understand how you contribute, And this also helps you to provide maybe more information, or so you become part of the project. You're not just there entering, doing what you're supposed to do, and then leaving.
Yeah, always willing to do a little extra. It's crucial to succeed in the international roles.
Yes, and since you guys are from different areas, I know that we have some other portfolios that can be added. For example, for Rafael, we have the Git Hub, where he can code some things and also provide more visibility on his work, and also the BI portfolios for the girls. But how did you guys design your expectations on starting in a tech career, thinking about you have to share this knowledge with the recruiters, with the companies, and with the role that you are applying to?
I would like to answer that. And a great start point is to explain the context or how you can contribute the solution instead of directly talk about the technicalities or just focuses on the development. Yeah. And in my experience, explain something to the international team or participate in this kind of international recruiting processes, it's important first have a big picture, the overview of the problem, and then try to explain step by step without technical complex technical terms and how we can contribute to solve the problem, and then introduce smoothly the technical aspects, because we have to take in mind not all have the same technical background, and it's important to scaling these communications and follow the proper approach to communicate effectively and be yourself in your communication. It's not 100% technical skills, it's also communication skills.
Absolutely. That's perfect. Yeah. There is a common say within the recruiting world that sometimes a person is hired by his or her technical skills, but most likely the person might be dismissed because of the soft skills, right? So we've got to make sure to naturally share your experience, and like you said really well, Rosemary, adapt your speech according to the person, the stakeholder that is listening to you, right?
Absolutely.
Yes, and thinking about that, Rosemary, what were some of the key challenges that you faced when transitioning to a global tech role, and how did you overcome it?
All right, that's a great question. Transitioning from a different gender background to a role in IT was really scary for me at first and presented several challenges for me, but it was also highly rewarding. And one of the key challenges was adapting to the fast-paced nature of the tech industry. As we even know, this sector grows so fast, and here, to combine a right mindset to overcome the challenges of learning quickly and keep yourself on track while you're learning skills, use the best strategies to keep yourself on the top of these tools is crucial. Also, it challenging itself work in an international environment. And here, it's not only about your technical skills or be the best developer and engineer. Here, it's most about collaborating with professionals from different countries, perhaps different continents, with different communication styles, different perspective, languages. And that's why the powerful combination of a right mindset and communication skills will help you to solve most of the common duties related to your role, which require communication. Always take in mind we should be respectful in the way that we communicate something. Again, we will work with people from different cultures, different ways to solve something, and it's crucial. Be flexible and adjust your communication to create strong the communication, the channels or strong communication routines to ensure everyone is aligned, everyone is understanding the complexity of something that you will face, or just to communicate something in both internal and external communication. I could say if we combine both right communication skill, right mindset and communication skills, both of them will help you to succeed in an IT role?
Yeah, that's so interesting because we were talking about adaptability, right? And if you think about, we've got to adapt our speech and our behavior even within our own culture. So when working for a country outside of our home country, we've got to, I would say, add another layer of adaptability. Taking into consideration those differences that we might probably not know in advance. So we will learn as we go, and but like you said, with the right mindset in place, that yes, I've got to pay attention in this and that, so then I can navigate easily through all the paths that I follow. That's probably the best way to do it.
Yeah, in fact, everything changed. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Also, I think one thing that we have to have regarding the communication skills is to be open-minded, because maybe sometimes we come and we say, okay, I like to do things this way, or we think that things are better this way, but maybe in a different culture or different way of doing things, we learn that it's better, more effective, or even helps the communication. Maybe it's a longer path, but in the end, we become better human beings, right? Because we're all a team, and we always have to remember we're treating with people. So it's always good to remember that we are people first, and then we are employees.
And speaking of that, it's very common to see when you first start communicating with people from the US, with people from Germany, they are very direct. And around here in South America, we usually sugarcoat things. So at first you think, oh, they are mad at me or something like that. And it's not. They are just being direct, neutral, and it's okay. You can just speak. And if you mess up, you can speak frankly, oh, I messed up. And they are not like judging you. They're just being direct. And, oh, these are the consequences. We need to do these and that to remediate that. And it's not like, oh, if I tell them something bad, I will face severe consequences, the fear that we usually have here in South America.
Yeah, culture speaking, this is a perfect example because in some cultures, it's encouraged the small talks. For example, in the minutes before our daily meetings or ends of meeting. Yeah, but small talks are not culturally good in other countries, so that's why it's important. Taking my word if I said, perhaps for us in Latin America, small talk is a good strategy to break ice and start a conversation, but working with people from Europe and some part of North America, that's not a good approach. So we have to take in mind and try always to follow the best approach and always keep a respectful communication.
Yeah, I would just add that so we're talking about a couple of layers, right? So there is a cultural layer. So there is like the behavior layer, the cultural layer, and the remote layer. So working remotely is different than working in person. If you're working in person with another culture, it's easier, to read the other person's, behavior and to adapt yourself to that, to break the ice, to have it look like those small talks just because you're in person. But remotely, you've got to pay closer attention to how you're going to actually tackle those situations and establish their relationships, thinking that we're all humans. So we always like, the connection is important in every way, but probably you would have to show how good you are at what you do, and then, establish like a personal connection with whoever you're dealing with.
And it's also important to highlight that this kind of communication and the understanding of the cultures during all the process, even their interview process, because sometimes, since we are Latin Americans, we have this warm culture. So we join the interview very excited with high energy. And sometimes if the interviewer not around Latin America, they can be a little colder than what we expect. then we have to align our expectations, and don't get nervous because of that. It's not because they don't like you or they don't appreciate your energy. It's just because it's a different culture. So it's also a great point for us to align and to go along with the expectations from the interview and next steps. Okay, so we have a question here. Rafa, do you want to read this? Do you want me to read for you to answer?
Sure, you can read it.
Okay, so we have a question asking that if we are sure that we don't need any visa assistance to be hired in US, or it's just aligned with the STAR methodology.
Yeah, as far as I know, you don't need a visa to be hired in the US if you are working abroad. You are working as a contractor, so the visa is for staying there physically. So if there's no physical presence, there's no visa required.
That's perfect. That's correct. Yes.
I would like to add also that actually we don't need any visa. And actually, since we're working remote, I did went to visit my sister. She lives in the US, and I entered obviously as a tourist visa, but there was no issue. I told them that I was going to work from there, only 1 or 2 months staying, and then I came back. So there was not an issue and no trouble at all.
There was another question about the STAR methodology, you said, Renata?
No, he was just asking if there is only the STAR methodology helping us to join the international tech career, or if there isn't any visa requirements.
Yeah, I would say the STAR methodology covers pretty much what a resume has to have, right? So just focused on, so STAR, I'm not sure if you guys got this, but is the short form for situation, help you here, Rafael, task, action and result. Yeah. So it's pretty much describing what you did and the achievements you had, right? So this is the main point. And like we said, if you can quantify actually your achievements, that would be
this is your presentation card. So they won't want to get to know you better if they don't see you are good for the position. So the STAR methodology is great for this. Okay, and since we have a lot of girls here today, especially these questions goes to Myra and also Mary. You are women in tech, right? So what are some of the challenges you girls faced, and how is it now for you since this is a hot topic?
Go ahead.
Okay, I can go first. I believe that most of the challenges for me were that, like we were talking before, the communication skills, because I think that normally, or at least in my experience, men are more direct in communicating. And I think we are in LATAM, so we like to sugarcoat, but also women, we like to sugarcoat a little more. So I think my main, I wouldn't say issue, but difference was that some communication skills, but I have always had great colleagues. They have always been supportive and helpful. So just that. But as soon as you get into your team, and if you're a good teammate, they'll accept you as you are.
I would like to add something, because Be a Woman in Tech is challenge itself. We challenge the status quo. And my case is special and important for me, because the first 3-4 years of my careers, and I worked totally isolated as a only one woman data teams. And at first I was scared of the demonstration of my skills in front of my colleagues, all male colleagues. And I think it's important to always take in mind you are capable of to do anything that you want to do, and provide the diversity could drive innovation, and always keep your essence. Yeah, one of the most important aspects as a woman tech is support other women to step confidently into the tech world. Is well known, and in Steam's career we have the gaps of women And yeah, I think it's important support always to step into this sector, and always take in mind your essence. You are providing solution, but at once you are challenging the status quo.
I was having a conversation. I was at an event yesterday, actually, about women in tech, and one of the things that we discussed that is it can be really effective. This is not only for women, but as you guys said, sometimes we tend to need this more often. Is having a mentor. So finding a mentor that can actually support your journey, and other than a mentor, I sponsor as well. Someone that believes in you, that trusts your work, and that can represent you whenever you are not in the room. This can be very efficient as well.
Yeah, that's really, really beneficial for us starting a career as a woman in tech. In fact, I become in a mentor, in a tutor for someone that was looking for start a career in this sector, because I received that kind of help when I started my career from the student forums and non-profit groups that are associated. And yeah, it's beneficial for us.
Absolutely. So we have another question here. So I said in the beginning this would be really interactive. So let's just bring the questions and answer as they come. So how feasible is it to start an international career as a mid-level professional? And what strategies can be effective for securing opportunities abroad at this stage? Who wants to tackle this one? One at a time.
I can
Okay.
Answer it. So I started working internationally as a mid-level. I did have some extra years of work, but not on that technologies, not on that positions. So I was a mid-level, and I don't think it's hard. Of course, it's easier if you're a senior. There are many more open positions for seniors, but there are many positions for mid-level because, well, companies that work remotely, they are an entire company. It's not only the seniors that will work remotely. So they will need mid-levels, they will need juniors, they will need people to work from every level of experience. So it's feasible. It's a little harder to find the open positions, but yeah, if you have like the good mindset, like if you're oriented to work remotely, if you're willing to communicate, if you know how to communicate and like sell yourself, it would be pretty easy to find you a position.
Yeah, and thinking about that as well, it's important for you to match your skills and your seniority to the position you're applying to. Because if you are a mid-level professional applying for a senior role, of course, this won't go on. But if you apply to positions aligned with your experiences and with your resume and the job description, you have all the opportunities to join the process. And also thinking about a company culture, it's super important for us as a company to build our own talents. So if you join a company as a mid-level professional, we'll be pleased to evolve you and to add to your seniority and to your knowledge. So this is also a huge gain for the company as well, thinking about your path.
And at the end of the day, like what we have been discussing, we are all humans here, and everyone is looking for talent people, right? So if you're able to express your talent, your achievements, quantify your achievements, doesn't matter in what stage of your career you were in, this is always welcomed, right? So like Renata said, if you're a junior level applying for junior positions and you are able to still look at what you have done that is interesting enough, highlight, the main achievements, quantify them, and showcase in an interview, doing the same as a mid-level, as a senior level, that what counts, is not worth it if you were on a senior stage and if you're not able to showcase your experience, so it's a matter of selling yourself during the moment you have.
And the recruiters are your biggest fans during the process. So
yeah, they can help.
And we think you're a good match. We're fine for you.
I would add just that I did many technical interviews as an interviewer too, and there were times that if you saw the resume of the candidate, it was it was a mid-level or even sometimes a junior, and it was applying to a higher level position, but like if you're not afraid, if you think, oh, my skills align, even thinking, oh, I don't consider myself a senior, but my skills align with the position, don't be afraid, go for it.
Yeah, perfect. And this is actually this is much more common, Rafael, with men than it is with women. So this is another topic that I have been discussing a lot within the women in tech world, that we tend to hold ourselves back whenever we're looking at a job description, in a sense that, yeah, if I don't fulfill each and every requirement, I'm not going to apply. But why not? You know, if you believe that you can do it, no one, believe me, as recruiters, you know, Renata can tell you, rarely we're going to find a candidate that fulfills each and every requirements. So if you believe that overall you can manage that, go for it, you know.
And also willing to learn the other things that you don't know. This is also an act.
So Renata, we do have a couple more questions here. Would you like to tackle any of the ones that you have? Should I go for this ones we have here?
Go ahead.
Okay. So where can I improve my conversation skills properly? Courses, online meetings, what you guys suggest?
I have a piece of advice at this point, because communication skills is a soft skill. It's related to our personal skills, yeah? But there's a lot of research on the internet, like podcasts, for example, on self-confidence improvement, or how you can improve your self-confidence at the moment of present a business presentation, or how you introduce yourself properly, or this kind of specific topics which are really helpful in an organizational environment. And the massive online open course with known platforms, totally for free, we could access to these resources, enroll in a course on how to communicate in a assertive way, how to be a good communicator, what are the skills that I have to take in mind at the moment to express something. This is especially important, not only if you are not even if you are not part of a managerial role or management position. It's important to keep your communication skills polished, yeah? And that's why I use these resources, most of them for free, which is the best part. We could acquire these techniques and strategies to conduct a business presentation, how to communicate properly with my team members. I have to participate in a daily meeting. What is the correct approach to explain something during the meeting, or these kind of specific things? So again, we could use podcasts, the free courses on massive online open course. Also, practice with your colleagues every day. And remember, it's no same formality level. Talk with your colleagues in a daily meeting than a supervisor, manager, see executive position. The formality level, it's very different. So we have to take in mind, all right, and perhaps my skills right now are not enough to conduct this kind of business things, but I could start working on my communication with my peers and colleagues, which is soft and easier for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a recommendation that we could follow to improve our communication skills.
That's perfect. Thanks so much, Mary. I have another one here. This might go to you, Renata. In general, not being fluent in English, a deal breaker?
I would say that depends. Depends on the role, depends on the client, on the position you're applying to. So we do have opportunities for intermediate level of English communication. We have opportunities for almost native or fluent speakers. So this should be aligned with the expectations in the job description. So every job description requires this kind of English level. So I would say that depends. So if you are an intermediate level of English speaker, you should apply for this kind of roles.
But a suggestion is, well, if you're here, it means that you aim eventually to join and to have an international career, right? And you're not going to be able to excel and to scale your path internationally if you don't have a really good level of English. So even though, yes, you can put your foot on this market, if you have an intermediate level, yes, eventually. However, keep in mind that you've got to keep practicing if you want to, get further.
Okay, great. So moving on here, all of us are working remotely, and most of the positions that we are talking about are for remote work. So how does remote work shape the daily routine working across borders, Rafael?
So, as we've been saying for the past half an hour, communication is key. It's always up to communication. And working remotely surfaces every communication issue that you might have. So the daily routine is shaped to overcome this. Asynchronous communication skills is, I think, is the most important. Because there are way less meetings than expected. You think, oh, I'm not working with someone right by my side. I will have many meetings, and it's not quite that, because there are time zone differences. There are many things that point to asynchronous communications. Using Teams, Slack, Jira, and on the developing side, having a very thorough description on code and on pull requests, having a good wiki, they are all must-haves. So every time you communicate, there's a delay. Every time you ask someone something, it will have some delay to get an answer. So the more information you can provide, the more context you can provide on your askings, the less go and come back you need to get the information you need. So yeah, that's and also knowing your colleagues, it's also very important, not only technically, but really knowing them is great for synergy, and will make this communication also faster. If you already know what the colleague will answer, it will save you a round trip, and it will also contribute to a way more pleasant work experience.
Amazing. Any other comment, Myra, Ms. Mary, about that?
I will say, adding to Rafael, that probably organization too is very useful, because even though we're working with someone and we have a boss and we have colleagues, we are working on our own. So we have to decide and prioritize what we're working on, or like Rafael said, we know our colleagues, or we know everyone we're working with. So we know this person will take more or less time to answer. So we have to organize and try to keep our schedule in to fit our 8 hours of daily work. But I think organization is very crucial at this point.
Do you guys have any tip on the tools that you use to organize yourselves in our daily routine?
From the work side, we use a board where we keep our tasks, and we follow them if they need follow up, or if they need to be. We estimate in each task how much hours we're going to spend. But also, from my side, I'm very old school, so I like to write down everything. I have my agenda and then my personal notebook, so I write everything there. And then if I need to transcribe this to an email or to any place, but from my personal point of view, I like to write down everything and then decide which task I need to do today, or I need to prioritize or leave for tomorrow, etc.
Absolutely. And I prefer use a combination of this old school approach. I love writing. In fact, this is my agenda, and also combining it with my Notion and with my Notion tool to keep all my projects on track and have this overview where it's spending, where it's in progress. Oh, this is a blocker, and all of this for my personal projects at the work level. And of course, we use specialized project management tools, and in that with that tools we could manage our tickets, our responsibilities, tasks, and align the team. But for personal purpose, I prefer combine both. If I had to take notes quickly, I have my agenda and keep my projects on track. Use a Notion just for manage my boards and tickets. Also, and I would like to add, in addition to these organization skills mentioned by Mayra, it's important to be a good time manager. Time management is crucial because sometimes we are facing some complex projects or participating in some complex projects, facing some issues, and we're struggling. We have to learn a new tool or add a new tool to our toolkit, learn the skills, and it's overwhelming. So time management is crucial to keep yourself on track with your personal goals and your professional goals.
I can add to that of keeping documentation, writing things. I really dislike writing things by hand, so I used Evernote, I used OneNote, I used Notion, and a good experience that I had is from a previous position that I was in. I took every single ticket that I worked. I created a new note. I put there what was it about, what was the reason for it, what had I had to do, if there was a technical decision, something, I would register it there and with whomever I needed to talk and the time I spent on it. And I keep tabs. It helped me a lot during like many months later. I had to revisit something. It was there, and when I exchanged for a new position in a new company, I shared this notebook with my old colleagues, and it's been, I don't know, 10 years now, and every now and then I receive a thank you note from them because there's something there that saved them for like, oh, what was the reason for that particular change or decision. So
That's
it's good to have.
amazing. Especially code wise, right? I hear lots of time from customers that, oh, we lost track of what has been done here because the developer left, and he or she didn't keep this kind of track, and now we've got to redo everything, or spend a lot of time figuring out what had been done. So yeah, kudos to you, good work.
So we have a new question here. So do you guys have any tips for who's started looking for international jobs? LinkedIn is the best place to apply. What do you guys think? Did you all start applying through LinkedIn? How was it for you?
I think the best option would be by reference, a friend reference, but that's, I think, the most hard to have. But yeah, in my experience, after reference, I think it's by LinkedIn, because there are several more platforms, but they don't have, I think, as much public or users that use them. So it's more complicated to find like the perfect position. I believe LinkedIn is the best one.
And we could add networking. Networking is essential because we have optimized the LinkedIn profile with all of these keywords and titles and skills. Yeah, it's really helpful. But also pay attention to the networking. It's important. And in my experience, being part of these international companies, most of my international jobs, I got them from my network. Like, oh, we are requesting, oh, we need a BI engineer, oh, a data engineer, oh, this position there in that company is requesting a, I don't know, BI analyst. So a network, it's crucial to keep you on track while you are looking for a new job or a new opportunity. It's not only your profile. Remind, or always take in mind a network, like sharing or talking with your contacts, or just scrolling in this published position by your network. That's a game changer.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more, as Mary. And again, for women in tech, as Renata said, this has been a really hot topic lately. And there are tons and tons of women in tech network events. So take advantage of those, and I'm sure, Rafael, it might be something for men as well. I mean, men could also participate on this event, right? We call you guys as allies. So there are tons of possibilities that you can attend to work on building up your network, because you never know, right? You might meet your future boss, a colleague, and someone that, as Myra said, can refer you. So yeah, explore those opportunities.
Yeah, and I can add to that of networking, because not only I am asked like almost every day for referrals to not only to Meta but to other companies or other friends that are in need for a project or something like that. And many times I don't know how to answer them, because although I know many people that are from IT, that are developers, sometimes I don't know their skills. So I wouldn't know who to send as a referral, because, well, I don't know what are people capable of doing. So it's not only knowing people, but making sure people knows what you can do. This is especially important.
Perfect. Yeah. Sell yourself, right?
And just adding to where to apply, I mean, LinkedIn is the biggest business network that we have currently. So pretty much many, I wouldn't say all, but many positions are published there. But we also have personal career pages. So I would say tag a company you like, you want to join, and check their career page, because they have their own ATS. And the candidates who applied through LinkedIn and applied through ATS, it's not always the same ones. So there's more than one place for us recruiters to check. So it's important for you as well to check the career pages and apply through their own ATS as well.
Also, for developers, there are many websites with roles for remote work. One that actually had very good results for me was We Work Remotely. So if you're a developer, and there are other positions there too, but We Work Remotely is also a good way to look into the market.
Indeed, in IT we have ton of pages and websites that we can use to apply for an IT role. Otherwise, it's not a good recommendation. Limit yourself to only apply to LinkedIn position. And yeah, take in mind there's a bunch of options on internet you could access to, and share your profile. Also, a good recommendation is connect with people aligned with your professional interests. Even if you are not looking for a job position, connect with people aligned with your professional aspirations, because it helps you to, again, increase your network and have these opportunities to access the hot positions, and just after publication. Yeah, that's good.
Awesome. We have another question here, Renata. I think this goes to you as well. Is it possible to apply for a position thinking of working 100% remotely, even if the description mentions hybrid?
No, I'm sorry, but this kind of requirement is not up to us, So this is need from the client or from the company. So I would say no. So don't apply to hybrid or on-site positions if you want remote.
If you don't have, I would say the only way around it would be if you have a referral, right? So if you know someone within the company that can actually refer you directly to the hiring manager and explicitly say, see, this person is an outstanding individual, but he or she can only be here, can only work remotely. Then
and I would say the hybrid can be also managed. So if the position requires 2 times a week, once a week, but you cannot go 2 or once a week or 3 a week, you can try and manage this in the conversation. So if you are willing to go to the office at least some days in a month, I think it's worth trying to talk to them and understanding if there is a possibility, especially if you are a great profile.
And I would say it also depends on the type of work that you're gonna develop. So there are certain areas that deals a lot with the confidential information that you have to be there, or that you have to be, for example, within the country at least. So we have had customers in the past that deal with very sensitive information. All the professionals must be physically within the country, right? So we've got to pay attention on the description if that's the case, sensitive information, confidential information, that plays a role as well.
And maybe worth approaching the recruiter responsible for the position. Sometimes they are tagged there. So worth approaching the one responsible for the position and checking. You highlight your interest in the position, and then you can ask if it's possible. And if so, please apply. Okay, so we are coming to an end here, and I would like to ask the 1 million question. So, Rafael, Maíra, Osmari, even Bia, how is working with Meta, and why here is a great place to work? Go. I'll start asking names. So go.
All right. I can start. Well, one of the best things to work in Meta IT North America is the opportunity to connect with international clients and participate in really challenging projects. That's one of my main motivations and one of the things that I love of this company. Also, the approach of these top talented team members, and the communication each other. We trust on the talent of our colleagues because most of them are really talented. So it's incredible. We create and innovate our solutions and have this opportunity to constantly face new challenges. You don't feel bored of what you are doing because you are facing new things every day. So I think it's one of the best things of Meta IT, this opportunity to access to these international and global IT teams with the challenging projects. It's amazing.
Okay, I'll go. I think from my side, adding to Osmari, also the opportunity to first meet new colleagues and new cultures, not only from South America or America, but since it's a global company, you're working with people from Europe or from Asia, all around the world. So you learn new cultures and even new language because you always interchange new words. And I think the most challenging part is the most beneficial part is that you get to learn not only more of what you're doing, but also more of new skills. So, for example, I'm a product owner, so I work with managing projects, but I also get to learn more from my colleagues and more skills. So I think this is very beneficial, or what I benefit from the most. I get to learn new skills and expand my knowledge brain.
Yeah, what I like most at working at Meta is that everyone that I met is so supportive, so helpful, so nice. Even like, oh, he's my boss. Yeah, but he's a friend of mine actually, and he's always supporting me. And there were some issues that we had to overcome, some challenges on the project, and I needed some extra expertise that was not available on the team. And like he put me in contact with a colleague from another team, another project, another client, and he was also very helpful. He like he sent me a wall of text explaining everything that I would possibly need to know. So this is what I like here. Like people at Meta are really a huge team distributed around the world.
That's so nice to hear. I would close adding that aside from this, we do care a lot about people that work with us, and just not saying this, we actually have some practical cases to share. So we do have, for example, what we call career in the cloud, not technically speaking, meaning that everyone that works here has a possibility to see a map that will take into consideration their skills and where they want to go. So then you're not stuck within only your current role. You can actually visualize what are the possibilities you could explore with us. We have mentoring circles, we have chapters, we have learning platforms that is for free for everyone to access and to enhance his or her expertise, knowledges. So we really invest in providing the tools we need to secure a good career growth for everyone that works with us. All right, so we're at the end of our webinar here. I would like to thank you guys very much for participating. All the audience that is here listening to us, spending this hour with us. I hope you guys had a good time. I hope that you learned and you were now excited to be and to work with us. At the end here, you're going to see a QR code that will direct you to our current positions. And please feel free as well to follow us on Instagram, on LinkedIn. There you can always be up to date on what is happening with us. Okay, so thank you all very much again. I hope you have an excellent and rest of your day. See you next time. Bye.